soccer, football players, I want you to be the best athletes you can be. In order to do that, one crucial area you may be neglecting is releasing those tight muscles. And how do we release those tight muscles? With your friendly neighborhood foam roller, that's how. All right, so what I'm going to do today is just take you through a little foam rolling routine I take all the players through. And we're just gonna target some muscle groups that are typically overactive in soccer players. And I promise you, this is going to help you to be the best athlete you can be. So let's go ahead, grab our foam rollers. Start on our butt. And so as we do the foam rolling, so basically think of your muscles like rubber bands, right? So sometimes they can form knots. And when your muscle has a knot, it's not going to be able to fire at 100%, which translates into you not being as powerful, as quick, as flexible, and all those components help make you the best athlete you can be. So we want to release those knots, right? We want to get the muscles to the regular length that they should be at. All right, so first we're going to start with the calves. So the calves are typically an area, especially for soccer, football players, that are very overactive, right? Because you're making quick cuts, you're making explosive runs. So we're going to go ahead and target those calves. So when we're working the calf, and I'll get a little closer here so you can see. So our calf musculature has kind of two little areas here. So we have the gastrocnemius and the soleus. It's kind of like the outside and inside of our calves. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to target the gastrocnemius, so the outside of our calf. And in order to do that, I can lift my hips up off the ground, and then I'm just slightly going to rotate my leg, just a hair. And now I'm going to target that one side. So if your calves are really tight, you're going to actually want to have one foot on the ground while you're doing this. However, if you don't feel like there's much of a release, you can cross your leg over, and then you can really isolate all that on the outside of your calf. And oh, that is sore, very sore. All right, so we're going to hit that for about 15 seconds or so. Also, there's kind of different ways we can use the foam roller. So once we find that spot that's very tender, we actually just want to sit on that spot and let it release. And then I could maybe just inch it up a hair, kind of find a nice spot that's tender, and just let that release. All right, so now we're going to hit that soleus. So now we're rotating our leg inwards slightly, and we're just hitting the inside of the calf musculature. This part isn't as sore for me, which is good. Outside is very sore. And I'm just gonna, again, just kind of find that area. Once I find it, once I target that area, I'm just really gonna try to put my body weight into that and let that release. And I wanna stay relaxed. That's another thing to be aware of. So I'm not like, although my arms are flexed and hold my body up, I'm not flexing my leg and I'm not tensing up my leg. I'm trying to keep it nice and relaxed. All right, so now we'll just kind of work our way up the leg. All right, so we're gonna stick with that same leg. I'm using my right leg. Now we're gonna hit the hamstring. So hamstring, kind of the same thing. I could start with both legs up on there and just kind of roll, excuse me, back and forth and find that area that's a little tender. For me, I'm gonna need to cross my other leg over and just put a little bit more of my body weight on there so that I really feel that release. And that feels good. And again, another area that can be overactive, because during those sprints, we're activating a lot of hamstring, glute. And if your quads are underactive, you can actually overuse your hamstrings, and sometimes that can lead to hamstring pulls, which are no good if you've ever had one. Those take a long time to heal. All right, so stick with the same leg. So now we're gonna rotate on our side. So our bottom leg is extended. I'm crossing my top leg over that bottom leg, and now I'm hitting my IT band / abductor, okay? So this is just the outside of our thigh. This is typically gonna be an area that's very tender. So, already feeling it. Again, putting my body weight on there, and I'm going up, not quite to where my hip is, a little bit below my hip, and then I'm rolling down about 2 inches above where my knee is at. So we want to roll all the way to the knee joint, and then you know you're too low. And same thing, I'm just gonna find that area that's pretty tender. For me, that's gonna be right about here. And just let that release. That feels good. Let it release. Ooh, painful. All right, so typically another area which can be very overactive, and this one's gonna be very tender. So kind of right here on the side of our calf, so it's right below where my knee's at, right? I'm pointing right there. So same thing. Now, excuse me, it's coughing from this air, this dusty air. All right, so I'm gonna lift my hips up, so I'm in a side plank. Now I'm just slowly gonna roll until I find that area. And you can probably tell by the expression on my face that this does not feel good. Ooh, goodness. This one is very overactive for me. Oh, I hope you're following along because I know you're in pain like I am if you're finding this area. But again, we need to release it, right? We need to get it back to that length that it should be at. Oh, yeah. Love it. All right. Last one we're gonna do on this leg. So now we're gonna flip it over. Actually, two more. And now we're gonna hit, let me give you a side view, our quads. So when we're doing our quads, now I'm just basically getting a forearm plank. So again, I can start with both legs on the foam roller, just slowly kind of rolling, finding that area that's overactive. And now, so I get a little more tension, I'm gonna lift my opposite leg up. Oh, man, that feels good. And just let that release. Oh, and you know what, I'm just gonna put that leg back down because I can't even relax enough to where it's gonna be as effective as it would be if I had both legs on there. Oh yeah. All right, and then last one we're gonna do on this side is we're gonna slightly angle the foam roller toward our body. So then the side that I'm gonna target, so now I'm lying on my stomach, I'm gonna bring my knee as high up on that foam roller as I can, and now I'm just gonna open up. Now I'm hitting my adductors, so the inside of my thigh, and a little bit of hip flexor. Okay, so I'm just slowly inching out, letting that release, and then slowly coming back in. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch legs, because we don't want to just release one leg. That wouldn't make any sense. All right, so same thing. So let's go ahead and start with the calf. So lifting the hips up. So now I'm working my left leg. So for you, it's either your left or your right. And I'm just kind of hitting the outside of that calf. I cross one leg over, really just isolate that. And for me, this side isn't quite as tender as the right side was, which is, I guess, good, because that's painful, so that's good. Okay, now I'm just gonna rotate inward slightly, hitting that soleus area. Ooh. And now, surprisingly, that area is a little more tender on my left leg, where the outside of my right leg is a little more tender. Ooh. Okay, next, we're just gonna go ahead and scooch on up. Now we're hitting the hamstring. So hamstring, for me personally, not very overactive. Again, it just kind of depends on you as an athlete and your mechanics, what you've been doing, what you've been strengthening, areas that are overactive, areas that are underactive. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead, get on my side. Let me give you guys a different angle here. Crossing one leg over, and again, just isolating that, ooh, oh man, IT band / adductor. Ooh. This area can be tender, and again, same with this one, depending on where your hip is rotated. So if I rotate my hip inward a little more, I'm releasing a different area versus if I rotate it outward, I don't feel it quite as much. Oh, right there I do feel it though. Oh, gosh, that feels good. Oh man, yeah, all right. Next, so again, just kind of hitting the side of our calf musculature here. I actually need to break out my bio book so I can review the musculature, and let you know what the exact medical terminology is for that. Oh my gosh, this is so sore. Oh man. Okay, so we found the sweet spot on this one. Oh yeah, that feels good, I love it. Oh, goodness, yes, I love that. All right, next, I'm gonna hit my quad. So I'm getting into that plank, lifting one leg up, just rolling, finding the spot that's tender, and letting it release. Okay, then I'm going to angle this foam roller toward my body, lift my knee up, and now just extending outward, and then back in. All right, almost done. So next, now we're going to line our foam roller lengthwise, and I'm just gonna draw my belly button in toward the foam roller. So I shouldn't have my back overarched. So my back shouldn't be up like this where I can fit my hand underneath. Okay, so when I draw in, I'm trying to keep my spine neutral. Now my palms are gonna face the ceiling, and now I'm just going to do the snow angel. So this is going to open up our chest, our shoulders. This is a really good one, just for anyone, not only soccer players, just anyone who just goes through the daily rigorous activities of life, right? All right, now my arms are extended, drawing one arm back, one arm forward, and we're just alternating. All right, now my arms are extended. I'm gonna press up, and I'm gonna retract my shoulders. So keep my arms extended, and I'm just pressing and retracting. Pressing and retracting. So there you have it, folks. So I hope this was helpful. Again, all these different muscle groups are going to be used when you play soccer, right? We're sprinting, we're changing direction, we are planting our feet, we're rotating, we're doing all these different movements. What's gonna happen over time is no matter how fit you are, your muscles are going to develop knots, gonna be overactive, and we just need to get them back to the regular length that they should be at. That way, we are going to be able to fire efficiently, we're gonna be faster, we're gonna be stronger, and just have more fun because we're winning, right? Yeah. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and share this with one of your friends that could use this, or maybe even your parents, right? I'm sure they have some overactive muscles. So leave a comment, let me know how you did, what you liked, and always remember, you don't have to be an athlete to train like an athlete. Let's do it!